And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right?
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing on first down is Manning. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Manning again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. To Breen out in the flat. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defense will give him.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out here in the I. This is Johnson, the fullback. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On the left side, a catch by White. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
This is Langford on 1st and 10. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard in there in an odd front, 3-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that, it gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. They'll come out in the pistol. They run with Langford. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Cutler on 3rd and long. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They come out here in the eye. They'll run again now with Darkwan. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Throwing now is Manning. It's caught. Shepard. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And the D looking like they may blitz. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Manning now on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the 4th. On 1st down, Manning to Shepard, complete over the middle. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Manning now on 1st down. And not able to get it that time. He'd hit on 6 straight passes. Not there. 2nd down. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. They'll run with Darquan. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and it's 4th and 4. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And Gold is able to put it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but his second field goal makes this now a 6-3 score.
And this would be the definition of winning ugly. Now you need to continue to ride your defense and hope that you can make this fourth quarter lead stand up.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. This time, Cutler will throw. It's grabbed over the middle by White. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They come up in an offset eye. This is Langford. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Cutler. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Play clock winding down. Now Cutler. The catch made by Miller. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. It's caught. This is White. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. They run with Howard. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
On 2nd down, here's Cutler. And this is taken in by Wilson for a Bears touchdown. Marquise Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. out as the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. He'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. They'll run with Langford to begin the drive. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Howard receives it from Cutler. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Fresh set of downs here. They go with Howard again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. This is Howard on 2nd down. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Olivier Vernon brings him down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk things over, we'll step aside. On 3rd down, this is Howard. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one is right down Broadway. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You're able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And New York set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Sam Acho in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Chicago, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the run to begin the season is over as they drop to 9-1 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.